So we obviously everyone's seen the video of what happened when the bomb went off, right?
Yeah.
In Beirut.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even watch it, man.
Well, I've seen the video, but then there has been other videos, like I've seen on a group that I'm in, that I just thought, you know what, I'm going to jump into this group because there's been a lot of things that's been put up there, and I'm like, oh, I need to look at that. So I've gone into this group, and they show drones around just before it actually happens, and they're dropping things into this little space. And one of them literally like pushes it so fast, once it hits the ground, that bomb goes off, that thing goes off and causes the mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, what would you reckon on that? What would be your opinion on that?
People want to take away one thing is viruses don't just come out of the blue and infect the whole world. They come slowly over time through natural selection. The only time it infects the world at the rate it did and the speed it did is the same speed you saw Ebola, Zika, all of them. But this was enhanced by maybe 500 times. So what they did is simply, well, going back, is anytime you see a virus that comes fast like that and out of nowhere, it's not from natural selection. So what does that mean? Two things. It was either made in a lab and placed, or it was made in a lab for, research purposes or biological warfare purposes, but it got out of the lab somehow by contamination, which can happen easily from clothes, or someone left the window open, anything, vials spilled on the floor. So all these things, it can only be two things: natural selection or man-made placement, or man-made leak out of a laboratory. But because of all the things they're implementing at the same time as this happening, it's impossible. I don't know how more people outside of this video cannot connect the dots that if it was normal, if it was a virus, we would have just had a virus and they would have come with a vaccine and that's it. There would have been none of this in between to meet the facial recognition, the tracking, the cashless society, the chip in the skin, the biometric technology, the immunity passport, all the quantum tattoo, all these things were added in as like a feature which is no need. So that indicates 100% is all planned, because they implemented too many things, made it so obvious to people in the know that, I mean, they could have done one or two things and I'd have been on the fence for a hot minute. I'd have had to look at everything. But when I broke my leg in the supermarket, I'm in the hospital sitting there, and I heard the corona. I'm like, nah, let me get out of it. So I got out, sat home with my leg, and I realized, another one. They didn't kill enough people in Africa the 20 times they've released the virus. And you know how much that gets me angry? Because that's genesis, racism, but a sly way of doing it. So I'm also going to say now, I was on the fence and I said, for once, they didn't target black people. And I was happy that for once we didn't see a racist version of the toxin. We just saw the toxin. But was I wrong? Boy, was I wrong when I saw the fake news, the mainstream media that said to me, the virus is, what do you call it? Cut the spit out, I forgot. What was I saying, yo?
No, but he was saying, like, basically, like, the virus, like you were saying, how you thought that that it wasn't going to be like a sort of, as you said, like, I used the word racial genocide.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like it was in Africa, but
yes.
instead you was wrong, innit?
Yeah, so I thought for once it didn't use this virus to target black people. And boy, was I wrong when I saw the mainstream media and they said that it affects Asian and black people more than white people. But hold on a minute, hold on. Virus can't be racist unless it's been genetically programmed in that way, because DNA doesn't work in a racist term like humans do. So that's completely 100% planned. And even more to the point, I got so upset because I thought they just can't leave black people alone. And you know what? All because of this thing, this idea that white people are superior to black people and we must have more white people in the world than black people. And that's nonsense. I'm mixed background. So I would never defend any one side.
Where's your family from?
My family, Asian, Irish, yeah. So
apparently I heard that how, like, was it in the next, is it 25 years that, I mean, the population, like, majority is going to be like all ethnics, innit? Like white people going to be like the lower case or something like that.
They're saying and the way if they leave it and the way it is, but not if they do this depopulation every few years. So which is why you see it, because they in the Rockefeller document that I've talked about from 2010 that everyone can download, it says in there, for sustainable living and a sustainable environment, white people need to be at the forefront of everything. And that's wrong in so many ways I can't begin to explain, because it doesn't give any other colour a chance to be at the top of anything, which is why we're in this still mock slavery times where they say they're not racist, but slightly they are, because look in the Forbes 500 and show me a black man in there that has not conformed to the white life. So there might be one or two, but there's no real black man in there. Why? Because they don't hire them. They don't let them be rich, and I get pissed off with it. So even though this is going off topic, it's not off topic, because the vaccine is all about depopulation. That's the number one behind financial crash and all the other things they want to implement. Number one reason they don't like us, anyone of color, any Asian, any black, they don't like it. And I get pissed off because I got white family, I got black, I got everyone, black family, Asian family. Why should I be like, you know what I'm saying, feel like white people are superior when I've got a little bit white in me? Or why should I feel like that? Get what I'm saying? No one's superior to no one. It's like I get pissed off because that's not the right way of the morals. Like, everyone is just a human, but because white people are Rothschilds, just so happens, and Rockefellers, basically we're not winning. So that's it. That's it. Right.
No, I hear that. But just to elaborate on a part of what you were saying is, I said in an earlier show as well, like the reason why I think that it's man-made as well is because it's not naturally occurring. Not only is it not as like part of a natural selection, it's not naturally occurring. You know what I mean? As you said, like it goes over time. So what I found out at the time was that a naturally occurring virus, like if you get one, like SARS, for example, it will take years, anything up to 800 years for the next big virus to actually appear on the planet.
Exactly.
But within 10 years, 10, 12, something
if that years, we keep seeing one.
Boom, COVID part 2 turned up. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't have to mention, I don't have to remind us all of how many times they have devastated Africa with the same nonsense. AIDS, Ebola, Zika, malaria. Malaria, do you know what? So originally that's from a mosquito, naturally occurring. But they've been seen to extract that stuff and lay it down in people in vaccines. So they're giving people the malaria shot for supposed not getting the malaria, and people are getting malaria when you're better off without the shot. So you get what I'm saying? And just putting a net around you or something. You know what I'm saying? People are, so this whole thing, they're just trying to devastate that side of the world. And the more non-white people that come together and realize that this is more of a racial profiling rather than target against white people, because although it looks like we're all suffering in this pandemic, we're not actually equally suffering, because the ones who have started this, for example, like Elon Musk, do you think he's suffering? Or do you think Gates right now is suffering?
That's what I was thinking. Do you think it's like a class thing? It might just be a class thing to the race.
I promise you.
I was going to say that though. I was going to say that because the reason being, because you got to remember, like, if that's what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying, conspiracy.
Money talks.
Yeah. Like, I hear that, but I think that they had to sacrifice some of their own first, because if you remember correctly, 100%. At the beginning of this virus, it hit white people so hard, that they were running around like headless chickens, scared. And then you had like basketball players like Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. You had like Idris Elba. You had like big like ethnic names in society, in sport and celebrity that had it and were asymptomatic, had no symptoms whatsoever, and would just, all had to do was sit in their room basically and watch TV for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
and then all of a sudden it flipped out of nowhere. It flipped. You heard of this old guy? You heard of an old guy? A 60, 70-year-old old guy, you know what I mean? I think from South London. He died, Once he died, all of a sudden it's worse in BAME, in the BAME community.
So,
Like,
so
and I'm
for
like,
me, so
where
for
did
me,
that come from? How did it flip so quick overnight, virtually?
because if everyone said, hold on, how come a naturally occurring virus is affecting black people and Asian people more than white? You know, it would have been war of the Grand Alliance. So what they did was, it looks like they've created two ways of infecting us. So I would say the first one is from 5G poisoning, and it's quite probable that there is actually something out there that has been created. But I'm not going to say that everyone getting sick is from coronavirus, because I disagree, because I've seen the genetic material from people with radiation.
But this was something I was going to say to everyone as well, including Jay, because I know Jay was touching upon it quite a lot at one point. Yeah, like, but if I remember correctly, yeah, what you was just saying there, yeah, like the numbers don't add up, because there was a lot of people dying of different things, even down to car accidents, just random car accidents, but they're getting put down as they died with COVID. Is that, I swear, Jay, that you were saying something about that in earlier shows.
Yeah, they died of COVID or with COVID.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people like, so it was basically like doubling numbers with that.
Yeah,
and don't forget the do not resuscitate letters as well.
Yeah,
so that added to the numbers as well, because people were told to leave them to die instead of resuscitating. And then,
I was thinking, say if you had the COVID thing, yeah, and you had HIV, like, you're fucked, innit?
Well, yeah, like, because obviously, like, AIDS breaks down the immune system. Yeah, I mean, I think it's acute immune deficiency syndrome. That's what it stands for. So it breaks down your immune system bit by bit.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And to the extent where if you catch the cold, or as you said, if you catch COVID, it's curtains, isn't it?
In my opinion, AIDS is probably the worst virus we've ever seen. And
we know that, and we all know that AIDS is actually a man-made thing.
Yeah. Of course, but I'm not saying like they won't, but because they probably will, but we haven't had it yet. But you may see the next one, or soon in the future, there will definitely be one stronger than AIDS. But right now they were playing with numbers by making it deadly-ish, but not deadly where they couldn't contain it. It's like a planned release. It's hard to explain what it's.
Yeah, because this is what I've said before, innit? If this, I truly believe it's man-made now. I do. I don't know why.
And you know what
I've seen is.
And you know what confirms it? I forgot to mention in Iran, where they just got it out of nowhere in high numbers. It killed people of high diplomatic rivalry of another group, which showed me that there's a high probability that whatever they did, whether it was an actual strain or whether it was a tower installed next to them, I don't know what caused it in that case. Could have been a strain. Diplomats who, in a far off place, Iran of all places, were affected, and only certain diplomats of an opposing group, all of the same group and nobody else. So that appears that it was slipped in a drink, or it was given to them somehow. And that's indication 100% or confirmation that it was placed, just because people that they've wanted to die in Iran for so long actually died, and they were one of the first to get it also, in such a weird kind of, everyone else was low and there was like millions cases. Like I was like, what's going on here? It was like Italy and Iran was going crazy, like, and everyone else was quiet. So I know.
Here's the thing: no one really talked about Iran, innit? Iran had like something like 10,000 deaths over 2 nights.
Well, Tehran, all the diplomats of that group, I'll give you the whole list of everyone who died. But it's really fucked up, because they were basically for free speech as well. So this indicates as well that this plan is to get rid of people who are involved in free speech too, because they took out certain diplomats that were basically against what Iran stands for, and they were trying to overthrow and become the new party. So they were being voted for, and they were scared that people was going to outvote them, and they couldn't fix it in time or something, and boom, they got hit with the thing. So you know what I'm saying? It's all planned, man. All planned.
Oh, yeah, man. Speaking of that, I just want to say RIP to those in Lebanon, innit? That was a sad thing.
Straight up.
Yeah,
definitely.
RIP, innit, man.
But they've been, you know, that country's been at war for years, man. Never stop, non-stop.
So we obviously everyone's seen the video of what happened when the bomb went off, right?
Yeah.
In Beirut.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even watch it, man.
Well, I've seen the video, but then there has been other videos, like I've seen on a group that I'm in, that I just thought, you know what, I'm going to jump into this group because there's been a lot of things that's been put up there, and I'm like, oh, I need to look at that. So I've gone into this group, and they show drones around just before it actually happens, and they're dropping things into this little space, and one of them literally like pushes it so fast, once it hits the ground, that bomb goes off, that thing goes off and causes the mushroom cloud. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what would you reckon on that? What would be your opinion on that stuff? Like, I'm just thinking, like, that looks like there's some ulterior motives at work. You know what I mean?
Drones. Whenever you see drones, it's government operating.
Obviously, yeah.
Swarm.
Of course.
What?
Whenever you see drones, yeah, of course, it's going to be government based, isn't it?
I couldn't hear you. So, and they use the swarm tactic. So now it's like one controller can separate them within, 10 feet apart, but they can all fly as one. Yeah, they can fly as one, basically. Yeah, and that's scary because you strap a kilo of C4 to each drone. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous. And that's potentially what happened there. So even though I can't really comment, because I didn't see the video, I didn't see a point of seeing it because I thought it was just the usual everyone dying. So
there's videos of drones all around before them bombs go off.
Okay, I'll look for it then. Yeah, so obviously if that's a real video, once I verify it, then that's obviously orchestrated because crooks only use drones right now. Anyway, it could change, but right now, but people use drones for only from Mexico to Phoenix and San Diego and stuff like that. So, them a 600 or whatever carrying 50 kilo of coke, but that's different. Crossing borders with drones.
Yeah,
coke,
these things are like going into formation.
When it's formation and it's not a lot of people flying different drones. And also you could have I'm gonna judge the footage, but by I do see, like, you do see videos, like, and this is the thing, like, where I've seen the videos, I'm like, whoa, like, and someone showed them to me, innit? Someone actually showed me the videos, innit? Yeah, like, and you can see they've got videos of the drone just dropping stuff. Like little white they look like little packages to me. Yeah, that's all it takes.
Things go off.
That's all it takes, because obviously that is probably something close to C4 then, because friction. That's it, basically. It's like friction. So if you drop it, one little speck of it, you're dead. That's it. Finished.
This is mad. I just thought that was mad. I just wanted to
I'm gonna look at that.
Crazy.
I'm gonna look at that. But it's definitely government.
Please do. You know what I mean? And then obviously just follow me on WhatsApp, you know what I mean? And just
I'll tell you. Yeah, it's only the only time I've seen drones with things cartels really in Mexico. That's it.
Help yourselves everyone, thanks for watching, make sure you subscribe, press this button here right now, jeez!
Yo, press this big red button.
Press this button, here.
Yeah, but here. Button, red one.